Okay, let's go on with number two. I told you I was going to bless you with something that really should mean a lot to you. It really should. But I don't know. You know, because you and I never got to know each other, and I'm going to go into that also. Michael did not commit adultery, had not committed adultery up to the time that your mother had filed divorce, claiming that he had committed adultery. Now everybody thought that he had, but he had not. Let me explain. I went back to Richmond, and I went and visited Faith Landmark churches, Faith Landmark Ministries. All right. And I came across, we talked to some people. They'd see me and they say, "Hey, how you doing? Do, and how's Marisol?" And that's when they naturally find out about the divorce and all that kind of crap. Anyway, I ran into a guy. His name happens to be Mike. He was a very, very good friend of your father's. I don't know if they are today or not because this goes back a little bit. And at that time, he hadn't talked to Michael in a while, so probably the same today. And I was going over the story with him about your mother, the problems and the sexual and all that kind of stuff. And he told me something. He said, "I'm going to tell you something." I said, "What's that?" He said, "Michael didn't commit adultery." I said, "What are you talking about? He didn't commit adultery." Of course he committed adultery with that girl. I think her name was Jennifer. He committed adultery with her. He said, "No, no." At the time that Marisol had filed divorce papers, Michael had not slept with Jennifer at that time by the filing of the divorce papers. I said, "I don't understand. Then why did he go through with this divorce saying and allowed to be accused of committing adultery when he had?" And he said, and this is what he told me. Listen to this, because I'm really glad, because I always wondered about your dad as a Christian. How can he commit adultery? Because that just doesn't stick with me. And he said, Michael could not handle any more of the sexual problems of Marisol. He couldn't take it anymore. A woman that can't be touched, a woman that's not affectionate, can't hold hands, the whole shebang. He couldn't take it anymore. But as a Christian, he didn't. He was trapped in that manner of speaking in a relationship with a woman that was frigid. So what he did was he devised a plan to force or to get Marisol to file the divorce so that it wasn't him asking for the divorce. And what he did was this. He, along with Jennifer helping him, made it appear that he had committed adultery with, I guess it was Jennifer. And he did it in such a way that your grandparents, Papon and Mina, and others, I don't remember who. I remember Marisol telling me, I think it was with Papon and Mina, that supposedly, Michael had committed adultery. But he made it appear. Listen to what I'm saying. Appear. He had not done it. He made it appear that he had committed adultery so that Marisol would file the divorce, not him. He wanted out of a sick relationship with a sick lady. I think that's absolutely fantastic in a manner of speaking. I mean, it is. In a sense, it says a lot about Michael. He sacrificed himself in a matter of speaking. He couldn't handle anymore, Ian, that a woman, he can't be kissed, a woman can't be touched, a woman can't hold hands, a woman can't say something nice, and on and on and on and on and on and on. He couldn't handle anymore. After 7 years, he had to find a way out, and that's how he did it. He let her file the divorce. He gave her everything that she wanted, which was basically you and what support money he was given and all that, and that's how he got out. Now, afterwards, he wasn't married, whether or not if he did sleep with Jennifer prior to the divorce happening, and really biblically, even after the divorce, it would be adultery. But at the time, this is important to understand. At the time that Marisol filed the divorce papers, your dad had not committed adultery. Now, it says really good things about your father, but what does it say about your mom? What does it say about Marisol and me? I lived 14 years of a nightmare with the same woman that your father, Michael, lived a nightmare with for 7. Many people, when they understand everything about my marriage to your mother, they ask me, how in the hell did you not commit adultery? How in the hell did you not physically abuse her? How in the hell did you not file for divorce? I'll tell you plain and simply the reason why. Marisol knows this. Why I didn't commit adultery? Because my father committed adultery. My father, my natural biological father, committed adultery. I wasn't going to do the same thing no matter what. Your mother will tell you that. She heard me speak that many times, that the marriage could fail for every reason in the world, but not for adultery. So, what does it say about your father? I think it says a lot of really damn good things about him. No ifs, ands, or buts. I was so glad to hear that story. But what does it say about your mother? I'll tell you what it says. She's got a problem. She's frigid. End of story. I didn't cause it, and neither did your father, her frigidness. But I will tell you this. When certain things happened between your mother and me that showed that she had a sexual problem, you want to know what she said to me? She said the reason that I didn't let Michael touch me for 3.5 years was because he had raped me. But I knew that was a lie. Because your mother had told me previously when we were dating and all that, the story between her and Michael. And why it was that she didn't let touch and this, that. And I believed that. I fell for it. I really thought that she was cured of the problem that she had, and I really thought that it was because of Michael that it had happened. No, it wasn't because of Michael. And at that time, she told me everything. But when I confronted her on some issues about her frigidity, she said that the reason she was like that was because Michael, your father, had raped her, which I knew was a damn lie. Do you understand what I'm saying? Your mother accused your father of him raping her. Nice mother you got, guy. Now, that's her. It's just like during the divorce, your mother said to me that if I didn't give her everything she wanted, she was going to accuse me of raping Katya. I said, you know that's a damn lie. She said, yeah, I know it, but it doesn't matter. I'll accuse you anyway. Send you to prison. I said, go ahead and do it then. Go ahead. We'll bring Katya in too and put her through all of this in order to prove my innocence. Go ahead and do it. Well, your mother didn't do it. But she said she would at that time. Nice mother you got, isn't it? What a wife that I got. So, anyway, well, let's keep going through your letter here. You can share this video with your mother. Go ahead. Share it with Isaac, Christian, and Katya. Okay? Because I'm going to be covering everything with them. I'm going to cover with them the 2 years of dating, the almost 14 years of marriage, the divorce. I'm going to cover everything. I'm going to cover all the sexual. There isn't anything I'm not going to cover. I'm going to cover the truth. Now, if I never see Isaac, Christian, and Katya again, as sad as it'll be, I'm going to make it. Because you know why I'm going to make it? Because I have already made it, Ian. Let me tell you something, Ian. I am so freaking happy you wouldn't believe. The only time that sadness comes into my heart, and this includes you too, is when I think of all the damage that has been done to Isaac, Christian, and Katya. All the poison by the Busquets, including the mother. Because, you know, Ian, one thing's for sure. Did your mother tell them that the reason I no longer was seeing was because she went into court and said to them, to the court, when she knew it was a lie, the judge knew she was lying, everybody knew she was lying, but they didn't care because they wanted to, excuse the word, but they wanted to all fuck me. So they did. Your mother went into the court and she said, yeah, he's going to kill all of us. And that's why I need the restraining order. She knew she was lying through everything. Listen, Ian, your mom sold her soul in the divorce court. She sold her soul. You know, Gongi, I'm going to tell you about Gongi. You know, before when the divorce was just getting going, I had picked up Katya, all three of them, over at Gongi's house. And Gongi said to me, why are you fighting the divorce? And I said, I have to fight the divorce. He said, it's useless. You won't win. Now, at that time, I didn't understand the procedures in the family court and how corrupt they are. But listen, if you ever go through the divorce, you'll find out. Ask Michael, he'll tell you. Well, anyway, this next 10 minutes is getting ready to run out, so I'm going to go into that, into relation to what Gongi shared with me. I'm going to go with that into part 3 here, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so let's go. Okay, it's getting ready to finish, so let me wrap it up there, and then we'll go on and we'll keep going on this particular part. All right, here we go.